Hi friends, blessings and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary and I release prophetic words as led by the Lord for encouraging other believers. And I pray that this word would bless you. The Lord has given me a word for someone today. And what I've been hearing from the Lord is that it's time for your perspective to catch up with what the Lord has been doing in your life, with what God is doing in your life. For some of you, it's that your perspective hasn't caught up yet with what God has been doing, meaning God has been opening doors ahead of you, opening up gates before you, making a way ahead of you. God has given you assigned you to a certain position, but your perspective and the way that you see your situation, the way you see your circumstances, the way you see yourself hasn't caught up yet with the new thing that God is doing in your life. He's brought you up here, but you're still looking at things as if you're back here. You're still behaving and acting as if you're back here because you're still living as if you're still in the place that God has already brought you out of. There's a concept that you may have heard of before called learned helplessness. And basically what this means is, the best way to understand the concept is to give an example. If you take an animal and you put an animal in a cage, the animal will try and try and try again to get out of that cage. The animal will go around, try to open every little door or to gnaw its way out, to squeeze through the bars, or however, the animal is going to try to get out of that cage. But if you leave that animal in that cage for long enough, if they're in that cage for years, if years have gone by, for example, the animal has tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to get out, and the animal has learned that there is no way out. The animal has learned that they're not going to get out, and so eventually they give up trying. And if you open the door to the cage of that animal, then the animal no longer will even try to walk out of the door. So even if the circumstance changes in that now the door is open, now the animal could just walk straight out if they wanted to, the animal has learned it's like the prison has become part of their mind and that the way that they see things. They can't see beyond their prison walls anymore. They've learned to just see their entire existence within this little narrow frame. And so they no longer will even try to walk out of the door, even if their circumstance changes and the door opens before them. And the Lord had been speaking to me about that. He had given me a scripture, Isaiah 52. This is starting in verse 1. It says, "Awake, awake, clothe yourself with strength, O Zion. Put on your garments of splendor, O Jerusalem, holy city, for the uncircumcised and unclean will no longer enter you. Shake off your dust. Rise up and sit on your throne, O Jerusalem. Remove the chains from your neck, O captive daughter of Zion." And something the Lord had been highlighting about this scripture is that a daughter is not going to... It's not like God is saying, rise up, O daughter of Zion, like Hercules, and just bust these chains off your neck. Okay? Because a normal human is not strong enough to break chains off of their neck. The Lord had already unlocked those chains. The Lord had already broken those chains. And now he's saying, so remove it off of your neck. Remove it off of your neck. And for some of you, the Lord has already broken off things that had you bound. The Lord has already broken off chains that were once around you. But what he needs for you now is to have a shift in your perspective. Because for some of you, you're still seeing yourself as if you are bound. But what he's asking you to do is to wake up. He's saying, wake up and remove it off of your neck. Take it off of your neck. I've already broken the chains. Now I need you to rise up and take them off of your neck, to put on the beautiful garments that I have given you, and to sit in the seat of honor that I have given you, to shake the dust off. So all of these things are ways of shifting your perspective. And what the Lord is saying is, I already see you in that way, but what I need you to do is to come up and to begin to see yourself in the way that I see you. And you know, with clothing plays a big role in how we see ourselves and how other people see us as well. So clothing can represent this shift in perspective. If you think about, for example, someone who is being trained in a new profession. Let's say someone is training to become a physician. A big part of learning a new profession is being able to envision yourself in that role, in that position. I've seen study guides which say, you know, if you're studying for some licensing exam, to go ahead and practice signing your name with the title behind it. You know, John Smith, MD, Dr. John Smith. And to begin to envision yourself in that role, because a big part of being able to adopt a new role is being able to see ourselves in that role. And the Lord has given you a certain position that maybe you even know of. You know God has asked you or calling you into a certain role or position. But the difficulty is not that God has not been opening the door ahead of you or making a way before you to enter in. The difficulty has been you being able to envision yourself in that role. And once you get that perspective shift down, then you will be able to start to walk through the doors that are open ahead of you. Because the Lord is saying there, I have opened a gate. I have opened a door ahead of you. It's just that because you have not been able to see yourself in that way, it's made it more difficult for you to walk through it. He had also highlighted to me in Acts chapter 12, where it talks about Peter when he was in prison. So Peter was in prison. He was imprisoned with two guards. He was between two guards. He had a chain on each hand, on each side, and then there was also a guard posted outside keeping watch. So he basically was in a hopeless situation. And an angel came to him, and Peter was asleep when the angel came. And this is Acts chapter 12, verse 7. Suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. He tapped Peter on the side and woke him up, saying, "Get up quickly. Get up quickly." And the chains fell off his wrist. "Get dressed and put on your sandals," said the angel. Peter did so. And the angel told him, "Wrap your cloak around you and follow me." Interesting how there's parallels between this scripture and Isaiah 52, where it's saying, wake up, arise, take the chains off your neck, put on the new clothes. So we see here where there's chains falling off of Peter, where he's getting out of prison, and the angel is telling him, get up. He's waking up, and the angel is telling him, get dressed. Let's go. And so it says, so Peter followed him out, but he was unaware that what the angel was doing was real. He thought he was only seeing a vision. So the prison gates were being opened before Peter, but this was so unbelievable that his perspective hadn't even caught up yet with what God was doing. God was actually doing this thing, but Peter did not even believe it was real yet, because he couldn't even believe that this would be happening and he would be walking out of this prison. It didn't even seem real to him yet. His perspective hadn't caught up with what God was doing in his life yet. And it says he followed the angel for a block. It says they passed the first and second guards and came to the iron gate leading to the city, which opened for them by itself. So the gate was opening before him. He followed the angel for a block, and then the angel left. And it says in verse 11, then Peter came to himself and said, now I know for sure that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me. Friends, that's what I hear the Lord saying. It's time to come to yourself. It's time to come to yourself. It's time for you to see that I have broken the chains off of you. I have opened the gates of your prison. So stop acting like you're still in prison, because the gates have been opened before you. And I need you to see that about yourself. Your circumstance has changed. Your circumstance may have seemed hopeless before, but because of what I am doing in your life, your circumstance has now changed. And it's time for you to grab a hold of that and to begin to see the possibility of that, to begin to see that with that door open, you are no longer a prisoner, and now you can walk through it, and to begin to put on the clothes and the identity that I have given you, and to walk into the place and the position that I have purposed for you, because the chains are broken and the door is open. And now it's just time for your perspective to catch up with that and with what God is doing in your life. So friends, that's really what I had to share today. I pray that this word has blessed you, and I also pray you have a wonderful week and a happy fall to everyone. I look forward to talking with you next time. Bye.